He came to us one very cold winter day about 6 years ago. So beat up, scratches, gouges, tangled mats and dirt. His name popped into my mind immediately, Charlie Bronson. I could hear him saying, "You should see the other guys." At first he hung well back and would only eat when we left the vicinity. Then he would slink off across the road and into the field. One extremely cold morning I saw him in a cat bed in the loft, but when I approached with food he ran off. But he was back for his breakfast once I went to work downstairs. It took about 2 years before he trusted us. Fairy godmother Sheila, who has a way with cats, would stand and talk to him, and eventually he allowed her to reach out and touch him. He loved it. He loved the contact. Thereafter, almost anyone could pet him, so long as you didn't try to pick him up. He wasn't having that. By now, Charlie was living in the barn full-time. Scars replaced scratches and gouges. However, his long, soft, duck-gray coat and white vest were still tangled and matted and dirty. Some of the volunteers decided to attempt a grooming project. Now, Carol had come to us to work with one particular donkey, but had gradually found herself helping out with everything. Well, almost everything. Carol was not comfortable with cats. At some point, though, Carol decided to tackle her demon, and she offered to help another volunteer with Charlie's grooming. A titanium-strength bond developed between seemingly fragile Carol and tough-as-nails Charlie. Trust, love, devotion blossomed and flourished. Charlie started to look pretty good, although he was never going to win a beauty contest. He didn't seem to mind, though, as his many devotees lavished attention and treats on him. Then one day, it was obvious that Charlie was very ill. An appointment with the vet was made for that same day. We would put him down. At this time, we just assumed he must have used up 8 of his 9 lives. Charlie had not been to the vet before, so he was fully examined. Nope, he still had some lives left. His warranty had not expired, nor would he just yet. Only a virus, the vet exclaimed. He was given medication, and we were instructed to bring him back in 2 days, as he needed dental work and surgery to remove an undescended testicle. The dental cleaning resulted in the loss of all but 3 teeth. No wonder he always loved my juicy chicken stews. The blood work informed us of diabetes. The surgery removed the uterus. So we found ourselves returning home with an almost toothless, diabetic, hermaphrodite feline. Well, wonders never cease. The dear vet sent Charlie home with special food for his diabetes. He was fine with that, but as his barn and house buddies noshed on other meals, he would sneak around and finish the leftovers. Well, after a few months, the cheating caught up with him big time, as it always does. Back to the vet, put on intravenous for 10 days. Once stabilized, the vet thought Charlie should live in the clinic, so his diet could be strictly controlled. Charlie was not a happy camper. He stayed in his cage, depressed. So dear Carol adopted Charlie and took him to his new home in Sterling. Talk about your fairy tales. The pauper and the princess. Charlie slept with the princess in a big comfy bed, took breakfast with her on the patio, strolled through the garden and found patches of wild catnip, and generally led a lollapalooza of a life. When Carol had to be away, Charlie visited the hoi polloi at the sanctuary. Swell fellow that he was, he never lorded his changed circumstances over his old friends. In fact, whenever he visited, he treated all his old mates to his new diet. Everyone had to eat diabetic food. Still, Charlie was old and gradually lost ground. In the fall of 2013, we knew we were losing him. Carol made an appointment with the vet, but Charlie wouldn't wait. He slipped away to the Rainbow Bridge, leaving a very large void in our hearts. tears flowed freely as we all spoke lovingly of the great gift Charlie had been. He came to us a down-and-out wildcat and left as a sweet, charming, amusing, lovable angel. His mortal remains rest at the sanctuary, and his spirit holds sway in our hearts forever. This recollection is dedicated to Carol, Charlie's soulmate.